We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Coach J. Coach J. All right. Let's get some likes. Let me see. Let's get some likes. Let's get some likes. Let me see. Where is everybody from? Lynn Scott is there. What's going on, Lynn? How you doing? All right. Anybody else? Make sure you check in. Check in the likes. Check in. Check in. That way we can see where you're from. Tell us what city that you are in. I'm gonna get started first. I'm down here in beautiful Deerfield Beach, Florida. Got my co-host Keith McIntyre is in the vehicle. He's in the car at the moment. But let's see. Let's go ahead and jump him on in. Anybody else? Come on, let's get these numbers up. Let's get these views up. Hey, Keith, I'm gonna go ahead and add you in. We're gonna see how this thing work out. Keith, what's going on,
What's
man?
happening? I'm
Yeah,
almost
hey,
to
it's
my
always
destination.
right.
It's always something with us, man. I'm almost
Yeah,
to
yeah.
my destination right now.
Yeah. Keith decided to go out and get some food or something, man. Type of
Gotta take
co-host.
care of grandma.
Hey, no technical difficulty as of now, so I guess we good. Let me see, live now. All right. I got a couple people here. I'm trying to watch the comments as we go. Come on. If you can see this, make sure you like, comment, and share. What we want to do is go ahead and get Facebook to share this to as many people as possible. The only way we can do that is if you hit like, comment, and share, right? Make sure you share this other video. We got a phenomenal pack topic for you today. Repping the A. Let me see. Check this thing out. We got a great topic for you today. Sports. What is next? All right, Keith. Keith right now is getting situated, so he will be. Are you walking, man?
Yeah, look, man, I'm walking in my house, man. I'm finna get on it right now.
All right, Keith. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get situated. The one and only. All right, we got Lynn Scott repping out of Atlanta. Let me see. More notifications. All right, anybody, if you can see this, let me know what city are you in? What city are you in? Let's know what city that you are in. So that way you want to get these numbers going. Make sure you like, comment, and share. You like, comment, and share. That way it can be shared to as many people as possible. And we about to go ahead and get everything started, everything rolling. Today we got a jam-packed session for you. Sports is the hot topic. The hot topic right now. It's been a lot of changes going on. I got subtitles showing, ain't that something? All right. As soon as my man Keith is ready, we're gonna go ahead and bring him back on. But definitely make sure you are like, and let us know that you're here. Just keep in mind we can't see your comments unless you tell us that you are here. Right? Make sure you like, comment, and that you share. Like, comment, and share. All right, Keith, man, you back there? We ready to roll? We ready to go, Keith? As usual. All right, Keith, you there, man?
What's
You
up? I'm
made it.
here.
All right, cool.
I'm here.
This is crazy. All right, let me see. Let me go ahead and put this thing. Make sure. Let's go ahead and jump into it, man. We want as many people. When you come in, make sure you tell us what city you are in. We want to know where you are at. Let's get these numbers up so we can bring our guest on for the day. We're gonna tackle in. We're gonna jump straight into it, right? Let's go ahead and jump into the poll. Let's jump into the poll. What happened to my poll? Oh, okay. You know I'm still figuring this thing out, right? Oh, we got another comment in. We got another one in from Atlanta, Georgia. Jocelyn Hickson. Jocelyn Hickson, we greatly appreciate you. Make sure you hit that share button so other people can jump in. Can't wait to hear. Yeah, we can't wait to tell you. Yeah, definitely. Now we got a hot topic today, man. Got another one, and as well as the people got to understand the firepower that we bring to the table with Mr. Joe Burns coming out of Atlanta, Georgia, by way of great city of Thomasville, Georgia. You know, with a lot of people, and that's why I put this together because a lot of people might know Joe or be familiar with Joe from being a football player, Georgia Tech Hall of Famer, NFL player with the Buffalo Bills, for 5 seasons. A lot of people might be very familiar with him, but they don't know about all the work he's been putting in over the years to help student athletes get on college campuses all over the country, as well as student athletes finding their way to be able to live out their dreams of being professional players all the way throughout the world. So we want to make sure we are honored to have Joe be in our presence. He'll join us a little bit later. We got another guest that's pretty phenomenal as well that we're about to bring him out soon. Let's go ahead and dive in. If you can, go ahead and make sure you hit that share button. We want as many people to be able to see this as possible. We're going to dive into and address some issues. One thing about it in sports with our guests, if he is not the one who can really see ahead of where it's going, then I don't know how many people are going to be able to do it. You get what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that people are able to ask direct questions. You're able to get some answers directly answered, and we're able to also get a full-size picture. A full-size picture. We want to know the layout of the land that's out there. No further ado, let's go ahead and jump in to the poll of the week. The poll of the week, right? This was an interesting one. And I got to kind of jump to my screen. Y'all bear with me because I'm skipping, going back and forth between screen to screen to screen. All right, so we took a poll. We put a poll out there and we asked, do you feel comfortable enough to attend a sporting event right now? A sporting event right now. They opened up the stadium and said, hey, you guys can go out there and watch the game. Are you going to show up? Are you going to be one of the guys in the stands? Will you be a fan in the stands, or will you participate any way it goes? Do you feel comfortable enough? And surprisingly, Keith, did you see the results for the poll?
I did. I saw the results, but I haven't seen the most recent ones.
Oh, the most recent one. Okay, I got the most recent ones pulled up. And the options were no, yes, and somewhat. Mm-hmm. For somewhat, you feel somewhat comfortable enough to attend a sporting event right now. We had absolutely 0 people said that they feel somewhat comfortable. Now we have 4 people. We have 4 people that said, what do you think the 4 people said? And this was this was the least vote. So what do you think the four people said as far as about being comfortable to attend a sporting event?
Yeah.
I think they said 4 people said yes.
Yep.
Well, you are correct, my good man. You are correct, my good man. Let's see. Hey, coach, I have another Zoom presentation, 7:15. All right, we appreciate you, Bishop Burns. Bishop Burns checked in with us. He's not on the feed, but he's outside the feed. Bishop Burns, we appreciate you for checking in. All right, and that's out of Thomasville, Georgia. Okay, so 4 people said yes, and 23 people said no. So we had 23 people said that they are not comfortable in any shape, form, or fashion with stepping into an actual event right now. Leave your comments if you have an opinion about what that means to you. Make sure you leave your comments. Let me see. I got another comment that popped up here. Let's see what we got. I
just started the watch party too, Jason.
Oh, you did? So we know we get traffic that comes in and out from all different types of locations. I can only see the ones that are directly in front of me. But we scrolling through. If you left a comment and we're not saying anything about it, it's because we can't see it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So let's see. I would feel comfortable if they sell a select number of tickets. That sounds like something that's kind of doable. And matter of fact, our guest we're about to bring out first, he actually mentioned something as well, that there is a major difference when we look at, say, youth sports, high school sports, college sports, and professional sports when it comes to the crowds, right? So having the option of maybe being able to sell a select number of tickets, maybe that might be something that is viable, something that could work. And I think it might depend on the arena, maybe. That's something that we'll definitely bring to Joe's attention. I'm sure he has some insight on that one. All right, cool. Anybody else? Let's go ahead and drop some comments. Make sure y'all sharing this. I see the numbers going up, which is always a good thing. Wouldn't you agree?
I definitely agree.
Definitely. Okay. So that is the poll. Now let's go ahead and jump into this. You got any other comments on that poll right there? I'm gonna bring my man in and let him add a little bit to it as well. You had any comments on that?
No, boss, I didn't get a chance to participate in this week's poll, but if I was going to vote, if I would have voted no as well,
Yeah.
because people are just not listening and paying attention to this social distancing thing, and they
Mm.
don't understand how serious this is.
Yeah. And my issue, because I voted on it, man, and I voted no. I'm not comfortable with being in, and be honest with you, I'm not a large gathering type person anyway. Anytime I go to the game and
Exactly.
stuff, you always see me either on the sideline or close to the field. I'm just wired like that. But my issue is that with the social distance, right? There's not enough information for me to feel comfortable enough that even if I follow all these steps, that I'm going to be safe and the people around me are going to be safe as well. So when there's more information, then I might be able to feel more comfortable about testing some stuff out. You know, that's a whole nother ball game. We're really gonna touch on that, pretty much, because I know that it's hitting people from a bunch of different sides when it comes to sports. So I want
Exactly.
to be real considerate and not so much give my viewpoints too much about where I see it at, because I'm not as dived in as I once was in sports. So I want to make sure that we get enough viewpoints. All right, cool. We had another comment come in. Let me go ahead and look at this thing. And mind you, too, Keith, if you see a comment before I do, let me know.
Okay, I will.
Let me see. I got another one here. All right. All right, yeah, Shalita Sean Tate. What is that? Oh, okay, hand clap. All right, beautiful. We
Yeah,
have a great
yeah,
little
that's all she
piece.
did. Yeah.
All right, we definitely appreciate you. All right, so now here we are, man. Shift. This is what you're watching is Shift. If this is your first time, we greatly appreciate you for joining. We hope that you stick to the end. But Shift was actually put together uh, when we created Shift. What we noticed was, every now and then there are things in life that happen that require us to make some type of adjustments in life. Almost the same as that way my man Keith over there is adjusting his computer screen. Yeah. So every now and then you have to make certain types of shifts in life. So shift was put together to be able to operate kind of like a vehicle that allows for people to be able to drive to different types of destinations, right? That's a wave, sir. I appreciate you. I wave back. Thank you. I thought it was a hand clap. Yeah. So with shift, and I started to write this long like a Facebook post, right? But what I realized is that when I write those long behind posts, don't nobody pay attention to it. Right? Ain't nobody finna read it. So I said I save it for the show. So this is what I'm saying. Just imagine this, right? Imagine, because you were in the community the same way I was in the community, right? And a lot of times you'll have people that come to you and they have a problem and they need some type of
Mm-hmm.
solution immediately. A lot of times that you can easily point them in a direction and say, well, you don't have anywhere to stay or your lights get cut off, but it's Saturday or it's Sunday, and they'll have to wait
Exactly.
like Monday or Tuesday to go to a place and see, oh, can this be done for them? So
Yeah.
many times things have been brought to our attention, the community members' attention, you know, um, that hey, real life problems that need a real life solution right then and right there. So what better way
Mm-hmm.
to be able to have a platform such as this to where people can bring things to the table and we can open up the resources that we all have as a collective community and to be able to
Exactly.
find an actual solution right then and right there. I think that is the most
Exactly.
powerful thing in the world, and I fully believe that that's what I'm really interested in to be able to develop out of this right here, something that will
And I,
help
and I
people
think
get
and I
access to
think
the
people
resources
would
they need.
benefit, and I think people would benefit from a right now solution versus a week later solution.
Yes, sir.
So I think that this shift is really, it's a shift. We bring real time problems with a real time solution. And not
Mhm.
only just one solution, but we have multiple solutions because we're all coming together and expressing our ideas. So this is awesome.
Gotcha. Most definitely. All right. Now this is what we're gonna do at this present moment in time. We got a great man that's behind stage, right? And what we're gonna do is actually bring him out. He hails from the great city. Oh, and I almost forgot, man. Let me make sure because I got my name on the flyer or whatnot. Some people get to see it, some don't. I'm Coach J, Jason Hunter, known in certain circles. And my co-host here is Mr. Keith McIntyre. Now the deal with this situation, right, is that a lot of people, some people know the work that you've done in your local community, but the phenomenal thing that I saw you do firsthand was take a youth basketball league and blow that thing up like it was the high school season or something, right? So Coach Keith, we got Coach Keith here too. So all right, so
Yeah,
yeah, so moving forward, man, let's go ahead. What we're gonna do, we're gonna bring out my phenomenal student athlete right here, Mr. Kyron Smith. Mr. Kyron Smith. Let me see. I'm sorry. Make sure. Kyron, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Coach Jay? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Hey, it's been a minute since I got to see you in person.
Yeah, man, that's been a minute.
Yes, sir. But I'm glad you came on today, man. With Kyron, I was able to meet Kyron at a through a program called Rising Seniors. Rising Seniors. A lot of people may be very familiar with it, the Georgia Junior Bowl. And Kyron was actually, I volunteered for that to be a sideline coach. And Kyron was one of the athletes, student athletes I got to mentor for a whole week. Phenomenal experience. Phenomenal experience. But ever since then, me and Kyron have been keeping in touch. I was even able to catch him the 10 year, man, when he came through Thomasville, boy. Y'all gave it to Thomasville High. I got it. Hey Keith, you remember that game, Fitzgerald Thomasville High? That was your
no
senior.
comment.
No comment.
No comment. No comment.
All right. So Kyron, where are you at right now, man?
Well, I'm in Fitzgerald over the break, whatever.
Okay. So you guys took a break because right now, let's explain to the people. Right now, you are currently a student athlete, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And you attend Georgia Southern.
Yes, sir, correct.
All right. And your sport is football, right?
That's right.
Yeah, phenomenal. So how has this thing impacted your situation, man? Really, this is the one opportunity that we had to be able to hear from a student athlete their take on how this situation has affected them. We keep hearing from all the analysts, and you tune in to ESPN, or even when you keep hearing from the coaches or the broadcasters, but we don't get to hear from the student athletes that much. So this gives us a chance to kind of see the insight. How has this pandemic how has this affected your life or and some of your peers?
It's been different, because this coming into my first spring in college, so it was definitely something different. And then for something like this to happen, something I had never experienced in my life, it's just it's different.
It's
You
just
know,
different. I bet it is.
yeah.
Yeah, nobody could prepare for this one, man. Now,
So we never.
what are some of the things like what's going on right now with the schools? Are they letting y'all do anything or
The NCAA announced that like on the first that we can start back voluntary workouts. I mean, like,
okay?
yeah,
So basically they're gonna let y'all start getting in shape. But what about are y'all able to condition as groups or how do you have
not
to do it?
not yet. They haven't said too much about it. It's just like they're taking baby steps, like still like meeting the same over calls, like it's still quarantining, still
Yeah.
6 foot distance and all that.
Yeah. Is
Yeah,
the campus like Georgia Southern? Is the campus open yet?
I don't think so. I don't think nothing's open like campus wise.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's gonna be the interesting, very interesting transition, man. Because how much longer do you have for
Me, I
eligibility?
was coming to my red shirt freshman year. Like I said, this was my
Okay,
first spring.
okay,
So like I really didn't know what was going on. I'm just
yeah,
catching the ropes, going by and everything, and then in the middle they tell us that we're going home for spring break. And then spring break turned into summer break.
yeah,
But yeah,
definitely. Now, how about with some of your teammates and some of your peers? 'Cause I know you come from a pretty large network of other student athletes that are all over the place right now. So, I mean, have you been keeping in touch with everybody?
yeah, I have. I mean, with social networking and it's so easy to keep up with everybody, like coaches and players and everything. Like I talk to all my teammates. I know I talk to at
Yeah.
least one teammate every day. Like if it's this group chat or this group chat, we still talk. Like everybody good. I mean, long as like as far as like the work wise and everything, if you knowing just what you want to accomplish,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll happen. If you just knowing what you want out of your situation.
Okay. And what about schoolwork? Like, has this affected anything as far as school? For one, because I know a lot of guys are scholarship. So
Yeah,
has is this? Do you see any of this stuff? Are guys worried about this affecting their scholarships or
I
even?
mean, now that you say that, it is like for the summer, they have made it with like certain scholarships they aren't paying for summer classes to cut back on money or whatever.
Oh
So a
wow,
lot of athletes aren't taking summer classes unless they're paying for it. The
got you.
scholarship, yeah.
Wow.
Gotcha. Yeah, see, that's an aspect that a lot of people, I know that a lot of people probably even think about. We got a couple comments that came on. Let me see. I ain't going to nothing right now. I got and then, hey,
I saw that one
Miss
too.
Penny, how are you doing? How are you doing? We're glad you showed up today. Let me see. Did she didn't leave a comment. All right, yeah, but that's definitely a very interesting take, man. Anybody else that's out there, if you got any opinions, comments, any questions, make sure you drop them. We got Mr. Joe Burns has showed up. Mr. Joe Burns has showed up, so we're not gonna hold it too tight, right? We're not gonna
So
hold up things
I got a
too.
question. I got a quick question, Jason. So
Yeah.
my question for you, Kieran, is that so what are the athletes doing with the time that they have off away from the campus and away from the field? What things are they doing to stay in shape? To stay um on top of their game.
Well, our coach set that workout, but like at the college level, everybody knows how to work, how to put in work, what it takes. So I mean, it isn't too much different. I mean, once they gave us the work ethic and the mindset and everything we need to make it happen. I mean, it don't matter where we at. And I think college really prepares you for it. Like just making you more mature by yourself. Like we can work out alone and still get the same work done.
Hmm,
Exactly. Exactly.
definitely. Definitely. All right, cool. So that's definitely a intake. What I'm gonna do this time too, man, I'm gonna leave you on as we bring Joe into the conversation. That way we can hit it because there's so many different viewpoints from all this where people are being affected by it. So I mean with sports, man, it's so many. I think what we about to find out how integral of sports is into the fabric of especially America. You know what I'm saying? When you take that one piece out of the equation, it's like when you take sports and when you take this stuff out of the equation, it affects people from so many different angles. It's not just the
Exactly.
people that's playing, it's not just the people that's watching, it's not just the people that's inspired by this, it's not just the people that like to cheer and all that. It's
Yeah.
it's the whole entire community. It affects a lot of people. So I think we're definitely gonna be able to get a very wide perspective. You guys make sure if you're out there watching, go ahead and get ready to start asking some questions because we're about to bring the expert to the table. And with no further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my man, Mr. Joe Burns. Mr. Joe Burns, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. How's everybody going?
Man, hey, we not as good as
Great.
you, bro.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey, I see you over there. I see
uh,
you, sir. How you been?
yeah. Definitely, man. Yeah, but definitely, hey man, I'm gonna introduce for people that don't know because this is the one thing that I'm really trying to get people to really recognize, understand. Because a lot of times, we'll listen to all these people and ask them about what's their take on stuff, or follow people that we can't talk to or touch. But when we have somebody that we can reach out and we can touch, and I've seen so many times personally myself, hands on with Joe Burns, right? Everything that he's accomplished be easily so made so easily accessible to people to give out free information. It's almost like it's so hard to give that information away. You know what I'm saying? Right. So with I really want people to understand what we have sitting right in front of us, and I want for people to be able to take full advantage of this opportunity. With Joe, Joe Burns, and I'm gonna brag about you a little bit, brother. Joe Burns, look, man, I owe Joe about $1 million out of my life over a 10-year period of time, right? You know what I'm saying? Joe he exposed me to so many different sides of life. And every time that I've always tried to accomplish something or I had one of these crazy ideas, Joe was always one of the first people that said, "Oh, for real, bro? I got you." I'm saying that he ran with me, so that's one of the things. But the most phenomenal thing that I've seen firsthand, man, is because a lot of people, they know you as a football player, they know you as a running back, what you did on the football field, right? But a lot of people don't know about the phenomenal things that you've done with young people's lives, and firsthand, man, when I went to the Rising Seniors program, I was a part of that, and I was blessed to see the whole Georgia Junior Bowl program firsthand, and what it did to a lot of these young people's lives. It blew me away. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking to a man who has literally helped thousands of young student athletes find their way in life by using games that we love. So with no further ado, we have Mr. Joe Burns. Let's give him a round of applause, people. You're all right.
Man, hey, this is exciting, man. Hey, you like a brother to me, so whenever you need me, I'm always gonna be there.
Man, I'm gonna take you up.
I see somebody. I see K over there looking swole with that Georgia Southern cutoff on.
Trying to get like you.
Hey, it's always a difference how you look in high school. And as soon as you get to college, man, you bulk up because you eating way more than you ate in high school, and they putting that work on you. So you just changed, man. It's good to see you, brother, and I'm proud of you, man.
Appreciate it.
Now, Joe, man, what? Because I know you first, like your first hand deep in, but behind the scenes. So I know people are talking to you as they come up with all these different changes and where we're headed with sports. We're about to go into football season, and and coming out of Georgia, football is everything. And then I'm down here in South Florida, man, and hey, it's some beasts down here, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know what they feeding these kids, man. They got a school down here. They throw rabbits out in the field and go chase them like that. Hey, man, I ain't seen nothing like that for in my life. But they killing it, So what with the I know that people are talking directly to you and having conversations about, well, what's next? What are going to be some of the changes that we're going to run into? I know one of the hardest hit areas was sports recruiting. Kids, high school kids trying to get to college. So,
but it just changed. I think it kind of changed the future for how things can happen now. I think from big corporations, they realize we don't need all this real estate no more. Our employees can work from home. We're recruiting, having a source to get your information out to college coaches is very, very important now. So it's always just I think it's going to really change how everybody operates moving forward. I think, people realize like we can, people get a lot accomplished not being at work every day.
Mm-hmm.
From the college standpoint, it's all about chemistry. So football, everybody can work on their own, but that volunteer workout is going to be important. So coaches can't be there, but the guys can get out and start getting their chemistry together, their coordination. The timing, that's important, especially for the offense, defense. They normally just fly around and do what they do. But we had a Zoom call with the Buffalo Bills, and a lot of us were on there was talking about what football season is gonna look like at the pro level. And it's like it might be empty stadium.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Like as players, you play for the fans. Like that energy is so important.
Yeah.
I know, at Georgia Southern, I know y'all do it with the loud music, give you that noise, but it's nothing like real people. It'll feel more like a scrimmage than a football game. But like I said, I really believe the NFL should follow suit of the NBA because I think public safety is the most important thing. I know we all love sports. Like you gotta figure it out. Like it's just like the NBA set the standard so high about like think about it. Like who gonna walk away from billions of dollars if it's not a big deal? You know what I'm saying? Like they had people they were paying to investigate to figure out what they should and shouldn't do, and they just felt like it was best for their organization to postpone the basketball season. People lost a lot of money, but I want to see how the NFL is going to handle it in the same situation. What would be the most important thing to them? Because if you can't have fans, in the stadium, like you just having 17 practices, and what that's going to look and feel like, or like how would that change the season? So, I'm anxious to see exactly what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to unfold, but I think at the high school level, I don't know how they're going to, because you got to have practice. Like you can't just show up 2 weeks before the season and it'll be great.
Yeah,
you need that time to prepare, to get the chemistry, to know who you can count on, who you can't. It's a lot going to, having a great team. Georgia Southern has a great program, but that don't happen if they don't get to put in work together.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just trying to figure it out, like what's the best solution, and if they don't have the time they need to prepare to have the same product they've been producing every year for like forever, like seem like forever. Like do you still just put them out there just for the fans or not to lose that revenue?
Yeah.
It's just a hard call. But I'm gonna sit back and just see how everybody handles it.
Yeah, I think it's a real tight situation, man. And I know because I helped out a couple kids here when it came to helping them transition from high school into college, and I've had a few of them kind of reach out to me because there's a couple of students that are still in high school and like they're wrapping up their senior years, man. So for them, this is like all or nothing. So what do you think as far as from the high school level of kids, right, that are trying to get scholarships? They're trying to find their home school for next season because they know, right now they're not really so focused on, okay, if I got to sit out my last year of high school because of it, fine, but what about next season? So what are your thoughts on that one, man, with as far as recruiting kids that are trying to get to that next level of coming out of high school into college?
It'll be tough because most of the guys by the time they're senior year they kind of know where they're going and they got all the academics together, but for guys who hasn't gotten there yet and that senior is important to them, I think right now the most important thing you can do is what you do in the classroom. At the end of the day, like I can be all world, but if I ain't taking care of that business, and a lot of times that's what slow up the recruiting process for guys too, because it's hard for a school to come give you an offer if they don't know if you're gonna be able to walk on campus when your freshman year comes. So all the guys that have been proactive and took care of academics, most of them are like they gonna be okay. Is for the guys that who probably like me. I needed my senior year to get everything right. Like I had athletic ability, but hey, when I was in high school, I was planning on going to the Tech. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna go fix the rest of my life. So I wasn't planning on going to college. I was gonna go to the Tech, man. I was gonna start my AC business.
Yeah.
High school. But so when college came for me, I had to do a lot academically to get prepared to go to college. So it's important for guys like that. But majority of the guys now, like, man, all these guys, man, they winning in the classroom, so they recruiting. This won't really affect them recruiting wise.
Yeah,
it'd be the guys that needed a little bit extra time that'll be be fighting for everything to have the opportunity to go where they want to go.
Yeah, definitely. Now with some of the adjustments too, because this is what I know, man. Because I got a lot of partners, man, that with them they were blessed to. After sports for them was over, with them being able to compete athletically, they were able to kind of turn their skill set into a business. The trainers, man, the guys that are helping the guys get where they need to be, as far as conditioning and all that, man. I know guys that's their only source of income. So I mean, right now, have you heard any talks of that with trainers that are out there? Do you think
here in Atlanta, man, they ain't nothing changed. They still grinding.
They still getting it.
Trainers ain't nothing stopped. You
Yeah.
know, you think now they need them more than ever because they need to go get that work in.
Hmm.
So like here in Atlanta, like, you know, nothing stopped. You know, and you know, especially down in Thomasville, man, people down there they need to be at Danny Copeland. You know,
Yeah.
like right now they should have been there last week because you need that extra work. Like it's so important, man. Like the biggest difference that I see, like just like being prepared for college is, you know, like the thing that I always struggle with being from South Georgia and then seeing kids here in Atlanta, like in rural Georgia, like we don't really go get that extra work like these kids do here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they like toughness. I don't think that's ever it, but they might be a little bit more natural at certain things because they have a million repetitions at them.
Yeah.
Where in rural Georgia, like we work with our high school, and then for me, I was working in the watermelon field, throwing tobacco, all that stuff. So we didn't have that opportunity just to focus on football, right?
Yeah.
We had other stuff, but here, man, like they really become not just training, but they really become like position specific training. You know, like they already declared what position they're gonna be, and that's what they focused on. So in rural Georgia, like I might have been a great cornerback, but wherever they need me, that's where they're gonna play me. So we don't have that luxury to just say I'm this and this is what I'm gonna be. You know, so it's just different, man. Like I really want to see guys in rural Georgia just get more work because all it does is make you better. I believe in this thing. If I put 10,000 hours in anything, I'll be an expert at it.
Yeah.
And they putting in work, like even by yourself. How like for me, all I can do is go out and plow fields and run. Like that's it. So I had to, you know, it's different, but in rural Georgia, man, we really get it out the mud. Like we don't have people like assisting, like we just grinding on our natural abilities. I remember when I first got to Georgia Tech, like I wasn't like never had great form at like what is power clean. I used to do front curl. They like, how you lifting that? I'm just get it up. You told me what I need to do. I'm gonna figure it out. So it's just, man, like the kids here that are going to trainers. I think that's something that, you know, most people should try to do for their student athletes because it's just getting them better, getting more repetition, getting them more comfortable. I think if you can do it, you know, no matter where you are, because, you know, even wherever you live in rural Georgia, it's guys that have been somewhere that can come help you get better. But we don't see those people like the time that people do in Metro Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I really think, man, like it's guys in our communities all over rural Georgia that can impact kids' lives and teach them things they need to know. But for some reason, is not as common as it is, you know, where we're from than in Metro Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that, man. No, because I'm glad you brought that up, man. And I want to really use this as an opportunity to kind of chin check some folks a little bit, man. Because if you're watching this, 9 times out of 10, the person that is really dived in on this, because this is what happens with these shows, right? You know, because like last week I brought on Sabrina Everett, superintendent of schools, and we discussed education, right? Who better in the world to talk about education and where it's going than a lady who's been in education for 40-some years? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the level that she's been at, you know. So what I noticed was, like, while we were on live, because I pay attention to numbers and trends, engagement, all that. What I noticed was, you know, just on my one particular screen, I was able to see that it never went below like 20 people, right? And we had a steady flow of people constantly asking questions, all that. And people were getting their questions answered. You know, and then we had like other watch parties or whatever. So there was traffic that was outside of the initial screen that we can see. There was a little bit more traffic. So when I went back and looked at it live, it was probably about maybe 60, 70 people that consistently, you know, were watching it from beginning to end. Okay. Those people are dead serious about that information. You know, they cherish and value that information. Right. But what I also noticed, now just keep in mind, you got 70 people or so that were watching live. Within 24 hours, when I went and looked at the numbers, because you have to add up all the numbers from all the different wherever it posted at. You know, so when I went back and started and stuff within 24 hours, it was over 1,500 views on it, right? But that was fresh information that was out there right then, right there. You know, but people called it secondhand. But when they called it secondhand, they weren't able to engage and ask their own question and speak for themselves and get their own personal information. And this is a lady that, you know, if she wants to, she can charge top dollar just to talk to you about education. You know, so then that's what I'm saying. Like what I know, and this is kind of the chin check people, you know, cause I know what I make sure I do when I put this thing together, I get on my game when it comes to promotion. So can't nobody tell me that they didn't know that I was doing this. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody tell me. How many text messages did you get from me, Joe? Joe got it, Keith got it. I know Kyron got it. You know, because I'm gonna make sure I do my due diligence, making sure everybody know about it. So you can't, at the end of the day, you can't claim there wasn't an opportunity for you to know better. You get what I'm saying? So
exactly,
this is a perfect time for us to really address the elephant in the room. That, you know, this game, especially with sports, the game of sports, man, with what everything that you just said, this thing is about to get 10 times competitive.
Oh yeah.
So if you ain't got a kid, especially when we talking about the youth, you know, the young ones that's still trying to climb up, you know, if we don't have somebody that's already laser focused and they chipping away on their own, it's gonna be harder for them to compete, you know, against somebody who's not, you know, it's gonna be easier for them to dominate kids that are not doing that on their own. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the good thing too is like trying to find ways to put like you know, I knew Kyron was an amazing football player, right?
Yeah.
But in order for it, like how it all worked, you got to put him against people who think are the bomb, right? Or like best players. Then Kyron come do what he do to him. Then it's like, hold up, we thought this was good, but he just as good. And that's how it works. That's why the competition and the training. Because at the end of the day, when Kyron left Rising Seniors, I guarantee he had more confidence than he had when he came.
Yeah,
right.
He came and went against guys that he might have heard about, but like, hold up, I'm a grown man too.
Yeah,
you know. But like with trainers, man, train like you know, and I'm bad at this. Like when I was in high school, I wasn't going to Thomas High for nothing. I'm sure they gave me $1 million. But not knowing that away from school, we all want to go. We all have the same vision, same goals. We all trying to get to college, right?
Yeah.
We all could have been together, working together, pushing each other, getting better as a whole, rather than, you know, not you know what I'm saying, not pushing each other. Because that's like the reason I started Rising Seniors and everything I do to help kids go to college. It's because what happened, you know, at my high school. Man, we won all those state championships. Only had a few guys go to college.
Yeah.
And like going to college changed my life. Like I never dreamed I'd be where I am today, but it changed my life. So I can help every young man go to college. It makes me feel better about like what didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? When I see my old teammates, it's like a burden because we all grew up the same way. We used to hang out, wear each other clothes, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
My life is completely different from theirs. I got a chance to go to college. So my whole goal was I want to do all I can to help guys go to college. I feel like if it can change my life, it can change theirs. You know, like that grind, just to put, man. And the thing about it is like that was my focus. I never thought about one day these guys going, you know, graduate college and become doctors, lawyers, or, you know, make it to the NFL, become teachers, or whatever they do, man. Like I'm so proud of these guys because I just thought about getting guys to college. I never thought about the result of that. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like I'm trying to play catch up on now because like we have guys that are doing amazing things, real estate agents, you know, everything now. But I did what I could to help them get there. But now I didn't create something for when they were done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to scramble together now. So when Kyron finished school, he can call me and say, Coach, man, hey, I need a job in this industry. And I can be like, okay, I got you. So, like, that's the part that I was just so focused, man, just getting guys to college.
Yeah.
and not thinking about, man, like all these guys don't get degrees. You know what I'm saying? And be ready to start their lives and start their families. And now, what can I do to help with that? So, man, it's amazing seeing these guys, man. Like, man, they make my heart so happy. You know, I tell my daughter, I say, you got probably about over 1,000 big brothers up there. So I ain't worried about you. 'Cause I know you got big brothers gonna look after you. You know, but
Yeah.
it's amazing, man. It makes my heart happy just, seeing these guys, man, just live out their dreams. And just man, just seeing them have the opportunity that I had, because a lot of guys that I went to high school with who were just as good. Because one of the things when you got to Georgia Tech, I was talking to our man Tequila Spikes, was talking about this the other day. Is like, man, you get there like, man, I left a lot of dudes in high school that was just as good as these guys. You know,
Right.
they didn't get the opportunity. Like, we had some dudes at Central had that dog in them. And you get to college, you like, how did the cat get here? You know, it's because like they just had they had a game plan, like we just didn't have it. We just thought that, hey, if you're good enough, they'll find you.
Yeah.
You know, that stand has cost so many guys an opportunity of a lifetime, because we just started there thinking like we don't have to wave our hand and let people know we're here. We just thought we're just gonna sit here and chill and they're gonna find us. But it don't work like that. You got to be proactive, man. Like, this is the opportunity of a lifetime, and you can't do it by yourself. You know, it's gonna be a group of people that gonna help you get over that hump. And like, you gotta want it, man. Like, people will never understand the mental toughness and the mental sacrifice it takes. It's more mental than anything. Like, it's a bunch of guys physical that can physically do it. It's the mental toughness and the mental games. Like you gotta just be able to brush off, because everybody's angle is trying to break you. They want to know what you can handle, what you can take. So coaches, all this stuff, they all things want to get this. They want to break you. They want to see what they can say, what they can do to get you out your game, get you frustrated. Because like I tell guys, man, it never fails. I get a call. It was the past year. I got a call about 3:00 in the morning. I'm like, man, who did call me at 3:00 in the morning? So I answered it as one of the guys, man. He was in college. That tough part. He was like, Coach, man, I don't know if I'm good enough. I said, man, you great. You're a rising senior. You are good enough.
Yeah.
But you couldn't deal with the coaches trying to beat him down and just trying to see like how tough he is mentally. It's not that they're attacking you. They just want to see how much you can handle. Like I don't care. Like I tell them all the time, like just smile. That's all you gotta do. Because like you think they can't tell you aggravated, you got an attitude, they can tell it. And that's what they want to see, man. Like, man, I was always smiling. Like I wanted to punch people in the face in my head, but like I'm just gonna smile, man, and say yes, sir. That's it. But I had a game plan. I stuck to the game plan. I knew what it was gonna take. I had guys before me. I see how they carried themselves in college, and I was like, you know what? That's what I want to do. And man, I remember when I first got to Georgia Tech, I was the smallest running back in the room. Man, like when I first got there, the running backs looked like gods. Like they was like 6'1", 6'2", real, you know what I mean? I'm like this little country boy, but like, I got the same thing Kyron got. He got that dog in it. And as long as you got that, man, you can overcome anything.
Okay. Yeah, Pastor James Banks, man, we appreciate you. No. If Pastor James Banks said he's sorry he late, no problem. We appreciate you for showing up. Definitely. All right, anybody, while we out here, man, because we got Joe for a few more minutes on this live while we out there. If you got any type of questions, comments, anything, make sure you go ahead and drop it before you get up out of here. Now, make sure you go ahead and drop it. Yeah. Now with because this is what the interesting part, because what I always do, no matter what, man, if I invest some time into something, I always want to kind of fine tune it to where I can leave it. I can leave something that's real concrete to where somebody can take it, bottle it up, and then move forward with it. And it might even turn into some new opportunities. So I know that there's different perspectives. I know like the people that are going to be interested in watching this, that are either out there watching now or going to watch it later, are going to be the parents, coaches, the old dude that, stands on the sideline, talk about some man. I remember when I was 18. I remember my junior year of high school. I'm saying the guy that tell that live vicariously through the children. I know that's who's gonna be out there really watching. So we really, if there was one takeaway that you could give the people, the audience that are watching this, to where somehow we can be able to turn this real crazy situation into something that has like a silver lining underneath it, what would that takeaway be?
For me, it's like just looking at everything and just, some people now, I was talking to some friends about this. Some people now are surviving, and some people are thriving in the same situation. Like everything's going on for everybody involved, but some people are surviving and some people are thriving. And to me, it's just, about life. It's just your mentality. It's like, you like certain people, no matter what situation they're in, they're gonna find a way to thrive.
Yeah.
And during that time, they're gonna be pouring into others while they're thriving because, it's the mentality, and that's the biggest difference. And I feel like that's why it's different. People doing different things now. It's like when all this happened, I just started running everything through my head and trying to find opportunities to thrive in this situation. When like, what can I do to make other people better? Like, what can we do? I got some friends, so we decided to try different things, but it's all because, and everything is always about what can I do to help others.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you're doing that, I feel like it's important. But you being a light to people in the dark, I think if that's your mentality, that's like the core who you are. No matter what situation you ever face, like, you're gonna thrive. And for the athletes, we always joke and say our slogan was, back in the days, hey, if you stay ready, you never got to get ready, right?
Yeah.
So if you were already ready and had everything in order that you needed, academically, recruiting wise, athletically, this wouldn't affect you because you were already ready. It's the ones that are trying to get ready that might get the shortfall of this whole situation.
Yeah.
Because they thought they had time. Well, I get it right my senior year. You know what? I'll get in my books my senior year. But that senior year is not here. It might not, be what you thought it was going to be. So that's the thing. If you stay ready, you never got to get ready. It's as cliche as that is. That's what we say as athletes. And then the other thing is, like, find ways to make other people's lives better in everything you do. And I think you'll always be okay.
Definitely, man. Hey, and that's why I love sports so much, man, because with sports, like, if you go back and look at any movie, anytime that coach give that pep talk, it's always a talk that you can use in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, sports is the ultimate motivator. You know what I'm saying? Like, just think about it, man. Now, we had a question that came through. This is out of Thomasville, Georgia, man. Mr. Matthew Moore. Matthew Moore, we're glad you joined, man. This is another phenomenal. Hey, you ever seen Matt play? Matthew Moore? He's out of Thomasville. Play some ball, man. He helps out with I believe it was the Wolfpack, wasn't it, Keith? Yeah, but definitely Matthew has a question here.
Sir.
It's important for players to have a plan A or plan B because plan A does not always pan out.
It's very important. It's very important, and to me, knowing that what I know now and just everything I experienced in my life, plan A can get you, if your plan A is academics, it can take you way further than sport. I think your plan B should be sports, because with plan A, you can always do whatever you want to do with. Like, plan B is so important. Like, I never thought you can get a job, get a signing bonus for just, getting a job.
Yeah.
I thought the only way I can ever get a signing bonus playing football. So that's why I strive so hard to play ball. But the academic track can set you up way further than sports can.
Yeah.
And, like, I never understood that, man. But, lucky for me, like, my wife went to Harvard, right? I never heard of Harvard. So I wanted an opportunity for me. She got 3 graduate degrees from Harvard. And, like, she never ran a gasher, never fumbled a ball.
Yeah.
We go through, and because of what she did academically, it's important. Like, when Kyron, when he get his degree, like football is it's an experience, right? Like football, that's all it is. It's an experience for us. But when you get your degree, like, that's a career. You can do that for the next 30 or 40 years of your life. Football might last a good 8 years if we lucky, like post high school. So, but that degree, man, is gonna carry you way further than football can. Look, football opened a lot of doors for me. A lot of things I do now is just because of football, right? But it's like, man, like, I just see that plan A. If your plan A is academics, you can never go wrong because plan B gonna always be there.
Yeah.
You can go play ball, whatever, but man, like, if you win in the classroom and win in those books and focus on, trying to, football is not a career, it's an experience. But that degree will give you a career that can carry you and your family for the rest of your life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And hey, since you mentioned wife, man, my wife left a comment here. Says awesome. Taking the time to add value to others' lives. Hey, if I ain't mentioned hers on there, brother, we would have had an issue tonight. Hey, I'm learning well. That was an awesome statement, Felicia Conte. Beautiful. Yes. All right. Yeah, and definitely Matthew Moore. Definitely, we appreciate you, man. Okay, cool. If you have any more questions, go ahead and get them in before Mr. Joe Burns checks up out of here. We definitely appreciate you for the insight, man. That was an awesome takeaway too, man. I'm really kind of, I'm kind of nervous and excited at the same time when it comes to what's going on with sports. I think that it really gives a lot of people kind of the opportunity to step back a little bit and see exactly what it is. You don't miss a good thing until it's gone.
You're right.
So I think it kind of, because this thing, we got to look at when sports, like when all this stuff, football, even basketball, like when it first started, it's not that big old machine that it is today. So a lot of times when things get so glorified and so easy, accessible, I think this is going to be the time to where when everything does come back right, you're going to have the sideline people looking and saying, why didn't he catch that ball? I think they're going to think twice before they still
see the same thing. You know what I'm saying from that standpoint, because
the people
it's hard. What's really hard for me to do is go to football games, right?
Yeah.
And sit in the stands.
Yeah.
Because all these people that don't know absolutely nothing think they know everything, and it's so frustrating. So, when I go to games, man, I can't handle it because I remember one time I was at a Georgia Tech game, and it was a screenplay, right? Everybody in the world should know this. If they pick it up, throw the ball away, right?
Yeah.
Dude, what is he doing? Why? That was a smart play. Like, everybody who know anything about football know, hey, that was a smart decision. Just throw the ball away, and we'll live to fight another day.
Yeah.
But they hold on to every play. Like, I appreciate them, but it's like, hey, it's football. Like, every guy out there is doing their best. Every coach out there is doing their best. So, can we just give them a little grace? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, look, hey, I might drop a pass. I might throw the ball one time. I ain't doing it to try to hurt you. Like, the person on the other team, they work out and put in work just like we do. Sometimes every play. But it's like, look, you pat him on his butt, good job, you got me coming back. But like, I just, it's just tough, man. Like, being a former athlete, going in the stands and just watching and just having all the stuff you hear in the stands, man. It's really, And I tried last year was me and Noah. Our Saturday routine was to try to go to Georgia Tech games. I was like, I'm gonna start this tradition with her. So I was like, this would be our thing to do. And man, I ended up just I just had to go. I had to suck it up and get a box, man. I was like,
you couldn't take it.
I tried, but I couldn't take it because, like, as a former player, man, you realize, look, everybody's giving their best, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I can't win every play. I'm gonna try to win every play, but sometimes the person gonna get the best of me. That don't mean I don't like you as a fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not personal. Like, I'm gonna get beat sometimes. Like, somebody gonna put me on my back at some point in 80 in a football game. I can't run over everybody. I'm gonna get tackled. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's not personal. Like, we're all out there doing our best. I'm sorry if we can't live up to, your expectations, but everybody's trying, because we care more about our teammates and making sure that they look good and represent our team. But when we do mess up or we lose a game, it wasn't just to hurt your feelings. Like, I promise you, we didn't go out here to lose the game. We went out here to win. We went out here to score 100 points too, and our defense went out here to give up 0 points. Yeah. But sometimes it don't work out like that.
So that's a message coming straight from Joe Burns to all the sideline coaches out there. If you got a problem with what he just said, you can easily go see him at the next Georgia Tech game. The press. Joe Burns said it. Joe Burns said it. Hey. Sideline coach, all sideline coaches, go make sure.
But I understand, man. Like, I understand. Yeah. Like, hey, nobody's not trying to hurt your feel. Like, it's not intentional. Just by nobody trying to do anything to hurt you. We really come here grinding, trying to do our best, man. But it's really amazing, man. It's a lot of fun. I cherish like all the opportunities I've had. The places football has taken me. The life football is taking me, and football is giving me an opportunity to pour into so many young men. Yeah. So I can give them my experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly, so they can learn from me and not have to learn from themselves. I go off my mistakes. I really tell you all the things I did wrong, so you can learn from me and not have to find it, on your own. So that's what, Rising Senior, man, it was a blessing for me, because when football is over, man, it is tough. When you've done it since you was 4 or 5 years old, play football your whole life. And when I finished in Buffalo, I was like, it was therapy for me, because I couldn't do all the depression, and I didn't give myself a chance to go that route, because I immediately started Rising Seniors back in 2009, I think.
Yeah.
I finished playing ball in 2006. And I was so focused on these young men that I couldn't focus on the stuff that that was going on internally with me. I didn't have time to focus on it. I was so focused on helping these guys reach their goal. And they always call me and tell me how important Rising Seniors was for them. But I tell them, bruh, it helped me out, I promise you, way more than it helped you, because it got me through a phase of my life that probably could have been, a dark phase or whatever it is that most guys go through. But I couldn't experience that because I was focused on helping other people. And, man, that's why I'm so appreciative, so grateful for every young man that ever came through the program. Like Jason, all the volunteers, because, it's a whole volunteer organization. Nobody's ever – we've sacrificed. I think I was doing the math. I think me and my wife probably put over $300,000 in this program since we started. Like I tell people, we pay to do this. Like everybody volunteer. Like Jason, everybody volunteer. Because we want to pour into these young men. Like, we just want to give them what we have. And we feel like what we have to give them is so valuable. And that's why we continue to do what we can to make this program go, because, it's a brotherhood, and like Jason was talking about earlier with a sideline team leads. Like that's because in the beginning, it was easy for me to contact everybody, be in constant communication. But now we got over 1,000 guys that are came through the program. And our sideline team leads are so important because they help me with the constant communication, being there. They let me know when something's wrong so I can jump in and do what I need to do. But it's a blessing to see everybody come, not because they want anything, because they got so much they want to give. And that's why these men benefit. That's why all of them are reaching their goals, because they got so many people that just want to give something to them but not take anything away from them. And we're willing to be honest with them. Tell them, look, I wasn't perfect, man. I made a lot of mistakes. But, my drive and my ambition, me wanting to change my life, that helped me continue to go even when I wanted to just stop.
Definitely, and as you talk about rising seniors, because just keep in mind that we're not just like with this live, like we have the Florida market that's in there too, and I know it's probably reaching in other places outside of Georgia. So I know in Georgia it's pretty popular, but
Yeah.
outside of Georgia, a lot of people don't know about it. But I think what really sticks out to me, because I didn't realize how the actual numbers that it was producing every year. So you have 90, what is it, 90, 94
We
kids.
bring about 92 young men every year.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
out of those 92, every year, ever since it started, because it's been a long, this will be what, coming into the 8th year?
Year 11, 11 or
Year
12.
11?
Yeah, year 11.
Oh man. Well, I don't know where I got my number. So year 11. So so every year you got all these kids that come in, but how many of those kids actually go on to college?
It's tremendous. I think every year we have like 98, 99% of the guys go to college. And some guys, decide to go to the service, I still talk about certain things, but I still believe in trade schools. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So some guys take that route, but man, like 90, 98, 99% of our guys every year get a chance to go to college.
Hmm.
And it comes from this. I remember I was in Boston and somebody had called and needed something, right? And it's kind of ironic how things work out. So I was going to give the person what they asked me for, and my wife was like, "You're not helping them, right?" I was like, "Yeah." When if I needed something, I asked somebody, gave it to them, I felt like they helped me. You know what I mean? She was like, "You're not." She said, "We're not helping people until we can pay for people to go to college."
Hmm.
I'm like, man, you know how expensive that would be to pay for like everybody to go to college? But it's ironic because we sacrifice, our money up front to do the program, but in return, like all these young men are going to college without paying any money.
Yeah.
So like, we playing the seed, but it's happening. Like all these guys are going to college, man, for free. You know what I mean? Like that's the ironic part for me is like, the thing that she had said back then, we able to accomplish it through this program without actually paying for each person, but giving them the platform to showcase their abilities, their academics is just to put them on a part of a roster that, has a reputation of producing some great athletes and
Yeah.
get the opportunity to go to college now and they're actually going without having to pay a dime. So that's the fun,
Definitely.
that's the fun part of it.
Yeah, and that was the other impressive thing, man. Because when I got there in the for the experience, like when I did the sideline coach that 1 year, the 1 year that I actually able to make it, I promise, man. I tried to get the second year. I got, man. You won't believe, you won't believe what I went through. But anyway, the year that I went, man, I remember getting into the lobby, checking into the lobby of the hotel. And then me and my family went to get on the elevator, and we go get on the elevator. Matter of fact, it was me and my 15-year-old. I think he was like 12 at the time. But anyway, we got on the elevator, and it was like 3 other kids in the elevator. So with me, I don't like when it comes to knowing who's who with high school sports. I try to stay away from it. Especially like going into that situation. I did not want to know who was who when I just wanted to look at everybody and see just kids.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get on the elevator, and there was a kid on there, man. And with the kid, he said, I said, how y'all fellas doing? And the kid looks at me with this little smirk. I said, I'm doing fine, sir. Like this, right? So I made a little joke with him, and then for some reason we kept bumping into each other over and over again the whole week. It's kind of like this inside joke that we had. Very, very humble, very manable, and all that. Come to find out, it was Justin Fields, right?
Yeah.
At the time, this is the number 1 player in high school football. But now you got a kid like that who has all this attention on him, right next to another kid that nobody's ever heard of, and they are competing with each other, practicing with each other, going against each other, and building with each other at the same time. That was the coolest part that I saw, was that you had kids, this kid has all these opportunities, this kid doesn't have any. But now they're in the same place, and you see them really communing and developing and building these relationships with each other. You know, like that was, to me, that was the real phenomenal part about the whole experience, man.
The thing is, people don't understand. They wonder, like, why would guys like K and all these other guys come to Rising Seniors, right? I tell all the parents, look, it's nothing I can do to help your son football wise. That's his God-given abilities and the work he put in. But what I can promise you, that when your son come back home, he won't be the way, he'll be different than when he came. Because that's what people don't understand. They like, man, it's really basically, we're a Christmas break enrichment program. That's all we are, right? Yeah. But we use football to trick them to come. Because if I told the guys come to my enrichment program, so we dangle football to get them there, but then they realize, man, it's way more than just football. And by making by working on a total person, it makes everything easy. Ron, tell your senior year probably way easier because of the experience you had during that game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
not just senior year, just like period.
Period. Because like he's never like you're not gonna go against that level of competition on a snap by snap basis. Like it's a college game. It made college probably easier because he had been against the best and dominated and did what he had to do. So nothing, like, his confidence level is through the roof because he done it before. So he shouldn't be intimidated when he get to college. Because like I don't win against some of the guys that gonna dominate the college level, and I'm gonna dominate the college level.
Right.
So it's just, man, just working on a total person. It's amazing how it benefits them athletically when that's not our goal. Our goal is to focus on a total person. It's just amazing how it works out.
Yeah. Nah. It was definitely experience. How was your take on it, Kyron? Like, because I remember, man, we went to the to the thing. You remember the thing? I'll never forget that. The thing at the was at the Georgia Dome. The thing.
Yeah, right by the Georgia Dome. I remember.
Yeah, the thing with the tablet, you walk around. Yeah, it's like
it's junior achievement.
Yeah, man. You still remember that, Kyron?
Yeah, like that's really what I was saying. Like it still sticks with me. Like that experience. Yeah. Like, cause what I liked about it, like they gave us different situations because everybody different. Like they were like this person might have a job where he making $600 a week. This person might have a job where he making $4,000 every 2 weeks, and you got to pay this bill. Yeah, I like that. Cause
for somebody looking on the outside in, because they might not know what you're talking about, but there's literally there's all types of stuff out there because this is something that's actually a free program that's out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a program that Chick-fil-A Foundation started. It's at the World Comedy Center, Junior Achievements. It really set up for like middle school and elementary kids. But I told them, like, look, it'll be beneficial for adults. So I know it'll be beneficial for our kids. It's really a blessing because they normally close during that time, but they always open up and they look forward to the guys coming in because adults need to go through there, man. It's amazing. It's just trying to understand how to put a budget together. Yeah. And to realize, see what your parents go through. Like, you might ask for $20, but that might be their last $20, and you don't really you thinking about it. But now like what mom and dad trying to do to make the house go. And guys know how much they made it in this simulation. And like they might like, well, my mom and dad don't make that kind of money. When I'm asking for new shoes, I might be messing up the whole house.
Yeah.
Put everything in perspective, let them really appreciate the things, their parents sacrifice to get them what they need, not knowing all the things that come into it when we ask them for something.
Okay. All right, cool. Hey, I'm gonna drop this one right here on the screen, Joe, and I think that's gonna be our last. It's really kind of a comment / question in here. Can you see that?
I can see it.
Okay, yeah, from Rodney Edwards.
Okay.
Yeah. And Rodney's saying he agrees with you, by being raised in South Georgia and the obstacles that our kids face. We got to get some kind of work ethic with our kids. He has 2 boys that play at your alma mater, Thomas County Central, and the hardest part is keeping them focused on how important working out and staying conditioned for the off season is.
It is. This is something that I'm trying to be more patient with because like Rodney, we grew up a certain way. Like, we had a certain work ethic that was just standard, right? But it's like, Karan, like his life is different than our life was. So I can't just put how I was raised and my strong work ethic on him because he might want to do it a little different. So the main thing is just to give them information and figure out like what like how to get through to them because it was tough for me. Like I only knew one way. I was like I was gonna get it done no matter what. But the guys today they're a little different than we were. So I think it's basically like showing them the way, like showing like going out there showing them how to work or how to take it seriously or being there with them, just showing them what it takes. Because, like for me, it's like people saying you need to study. But if you never show me how to study, how am I going to do it? Right. It's like we got to show them what we want them to do. And then by just doing that repetition, they'll figure it out. But it's like, it's hard telling somebody what to do when they don't fully understand what we're asking them to do and expect them to do it the right way. So for me, it's like I feel like guys like me, you have to be a lot more patient these days because just because we got it just like that don't mean everybody's gonna do it that way. So I feel like we gotta spend more time and just coaching them through what the right way to do it and just expecting them to just do it because we said. So I think that's the important thing. I think over at Central, Coach Henderson is like a brother to me. We was at Georgia Tech together. I know he understands, but just getting people to buy into what he's trying to get them to do over there. He like, hey, that's my brother right there. Like, hey, Ashley, one of us. like just seeing, knowing him from college, and like Ashley was always with us. You know what I mean? So like he's a good dude, man. I'm just excited that he got the opportunity, but just like help him help the student athletes over there. And I feel like that's the most important thing to do is figure out what they're trying to do. And like one thing my dad used to do, when I was out there working out, he was right there with me, making sure I was doing it right, make sure I'm not taking any shortcuts, but find out what the game plan, what they want him doing right now, doing his off season with his quarantine, and get out there with them whenever you can, and just show them what it looks like to put in the work to be successful, or the kind of work ethic you need to have to reach your goals and dreams.
Definitely. I'm pretty sure he appreciate that information. We appreciate you for dropping that comment. All right, cool, man. And I'm gonna make sure that we put this out there because with Rising Seniors, it's a nonprofit organization, so people can actually help out in more than one way. Because every year when you run the camp, because the camp is a week long, right? So with every year you do need volunteers. Do you have like do you have like a higher demand for volunteers coming up? Because most likely there might be a great chance that you're still able to run the program this year, right?
Yeah, it is. We're gonna sit back and wait and see how everybody else move. And I think that's gonna determine how we move this year. Right now we're planning on it, but it all depends on what comes down or what we feel like is the best way to move with keeping our family's safety in mind. Because I feel like this is I'm not an expert, this is just Joe Brown's opinion. I feel like things will get better while it warm up, but I feel like stuff gonna come back as it cool off during the fall and things like that. So just trying to see how everything is moving, where it goes. So we got to keep make sure we put people's health as main priority, because we'll still do what we can, because like I said, this is not about football. It's a program, and we might even have to do our program virtually this year without a game. But putting our roster together, because of reputation, guys being on that roster, and we still doing what we do to help get guys information out to colleges. It is just as beneficial, I feel like, doing that program without the game. So we'll just figure it out, just play it by ear and see, what's the best solution to bless all these young men that's coming through this year.
So if anybody wants to actually help out and contribute to the foundation, what they'll do is go to risingseniors.com, right?
Yeah, risingseniors.org. Yeah.
Okay, risingseniors.org. And with that, because that's what 1,000 strong.
2,000 strong. Goals
2,000 strong. What is that?
2,000 people to donate $50 each year.
Got you. And that'll help cover a lot of the expenses of running the program and helping 90 plus young men every single year.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so we had to make sure we put that out there for people. So if you want to, especially if you're in the state of Georgia, you come from the state of Georgia, you want to help athletes that are out of the state of Georgia, make sure that you visit the website, riserseniors.org, and find out more ways that you can help with this program. And I hopefully, and this is why I'm going to drop it off, man, where I like to do my famous thing with checking on out of here is the bottom line, right? The bottom line is we brought this phenomenal brother to us, right? And he gave you some phenomenal tips in game. And I think with moving forward, I hope that there's a lot of coaches or even, parents, fans, players that are really motivated about this situation. They're able to find that silver lining that is directly for them. As always, the game of sports, that is something that we use as one of those vehicles that can definitely help us live out the rest of our lives. Yeah, I've seen it time and time and time again. Some of the greatest entrepreneurs, business leaders, some of the most phenomenal people in the world all have an athletic background. So when we take all that into its put everything into its proper perspective, as the great Uncle Billy loves saying, and we keep everything to its proper perspective, we're looking at the adversities that this situation has caused all of us. We actually have a blueprint which is given to us by our coaches, our parents, and our teachers in the game of life that will help carry us to the next level and make our shifts into the transitions that we need to take. We greatly appreciate your time, Joe. We appreciate you, Kyron. Definitely, man. Keith, if you want to close us out today, brother.
If all hearts and minds are clear, until we meet again next week, 7 o'clock, same time, same place.
And that's the bottom line. All right. Yeah.